I love the artwork.
Yeah, when we come to Italy, we stay, well, we do it all over, but we do home exchange.
Oh,
Okay, there we go. I just muted that. All right, we are good. We should be live.
nice.
So hello, if anybody happens to join us and watch, it's Lynn. I'm here with Ewelina from Topical Skin.
Hi,
So
everybody.
yeah, thank you for chatting. Um,
Absolutely.
My lighting is so weird in this apartment, though. I look, I don't know what that's all about, but
And here, I didn't prepare with
no, you look
the
gorgeous.
ring light or anything like that, so it's
You
okay.
look perfect.
All signs
So
are
thank you for joining. I was so fortunate to be able to meet you at Clara Beauty Lab. That was what, like a month ago or something? I don't even remember. It
early
was a
December,
while ago.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a really great spot and great location, and Clara's wonderful. We'll talk more about that in a
Sure.
bit, but for now, let's start and talk a little bit more about you and your journey and your brand, because I think there's so many interesting things we could dig into. First, the fact that you're like formulator, chemist, understand all the ingredients and all of that is very impressive. And then your product itself is actually like a med spa grade product. So it's like a super high professional level, clean skincare brand, which is not easy to make. So, and you're in the competitive beauty category. So that's also not easy.
Yeah, checking all the boxes, right? Keeping
Oh my
the
gosh. Yeah. I mean, skincare is such a crowded category. Well, beauty is crowded, skincare is crowded. It's just not the easiest business to be in these days. But let's go back to like what inspired you to do this to begin with.
yeah, you know what, I've been in the beauty industry exclusively for like 15 years. So I really wanted to
Mm,
hone in on my craft and really know that, sector or the industry really, really well. I had a privilege to work with, like number one multinationals, but specialize in beauty and marketing. It's their name of the game between L'Oreal,
mm.
PFAB, dermocosmetics, and it was always in the scientific beauty space. I actually had my start at a contract manufacturer slash a company that owns many brands in the medical grade beauty space. They actually provide private label to physicians, medical spa owners, licensed estheticians globally, not just in the United States, but they also manufacture products for all of the doctor brands you can imagine and see at Sephora. So I've been in the scientific
Yeah.
beauty sector before it was, I would say, mainstream. Before the aesthetic kind of industry boomed. Nowadays, getting a Botox in your 20s, it's looked at as normal. When I was
Shocking though,
working
right?
yeah, when I was working with doctors, physicians, dermatologists, we were mostly creating products to help integrate them with some procedures in the office, but also to help, skin conditions. I don't want to call out atopic dermatitis or seborrheic keratosis, eczema, but I was exposed to, the science, the research paper, publishing data, running clinical studies, proof of efficacy. Um, like I said before, everybody else jumped on the wagon. I feel like the medical sector, the physician dispensing sector of the industry always paves the way to innovation. I, got a chance to attend all of the American Academy of Dermatology shows for the past, like I said, over a decade,
Mhm.
religiously, twice a year, exhibit with different companies that I work with, put posters and podium presentations for physicians who were speaking to, our technology. So I just got a chance to absorb all this information and see it from
Mm.
get it out as a contract manufacturer, but also as an incubator for brands that were then launching at retailers and then working for multinationals and leading the US cosmeceuticals for Avan brand, for
Yeah, that's
Glycol,
amazing.
and then consulting for many other, medical grade brands. So I feel like I just, through that exposure and staying true to like this niche category that I have a, deep passion for, and I'm self-proclaimed science nerd. I love deep, diving into data and actually speaking the language of physicians. I found we kind of came together, and when the time was right, I wanted to make sure that the ideas for product development that I was pitching to, to SkinCeuticals, because I was responsible for a 5-year pipeline. I was working very, very closely with the global team, and presenting at global stages, and we had all the other markets shadowing, what US was doing. It was very, very hard not to crack to pitch something that was maybe out of the box, that perhaps L'Oreal would not want to bring it under the umbrella because of either liability or maybe not compatibility with other markets. So I just didn't want my, I guess, creative wings to be clipped, and I decided to venture out on my own. It wasn't my first rodeo with Topical Skin. I have launched another brand and I've exited out from since then. But Topical Skin is truly, my baby. The first one was too, the brainchild. But that's what brought me to Topical Skin. In the meantime, I also became a mother. And while I was always about, holistic health, beauty, wellness, I think becoming a mother took it to the next level. And I wanted to make sure that whatever I put on skin, which is the largest organ of the body when you think about it, is as clean as possible. I think when it comes to medical grade beauty, that's not primary messaging, nothing wrong with it. I think medical grade beauty is all about efficacy and delivering results.
Yeah.
Um, and wonderful. But if you have the ability to also make it as clean as possible and say no to, for example, a peptide blend that comes in alcohol, and choose to have a
Mm,
peptide blend in glycerin, I have those contacts with raw material vendors, and I can say, okay, I want to buy a raw material from this vendor, not the other one, or maybe I can look at some kind of an innovation technology that's launching, because I do attend all those shows, not only as a brand, but as a cosmetic chemist. I will go to Suppliers Day, where raw material vendors doing a showcase on annual basis to bring forth the newest technology, biotech, innovation, sometimes, purified natural ingredients. So not that I get the first dibs, but I understand it with a marketing hat on, I understand it with a product development hat on, and then from like consumer perspective, retailer perspective. So I feel like I can bring the best of few words, in a sense, words together, but then also I rely on expertise of my network. I work very closely with like world-renowned, cosmetic chemists
mm,
and biochemists who run the microbiology in the lab to make sure that the formulas are stable, nothing grows inside of the petri
right.
dish. And dermatologists as well. So dermatologists and select estheticians, medical estheticians on like my advisory board / focus group as well. So I don't want to bore you guys with the background, but I just
No,
want to
it's
paint the picture of.
super interesting
Mhm.
because you've done so much and it's interesting also so many things that we could probably go in deep into. So, well, first of all, the fact that you were with these large companies, and then did not find it daunting to launch your own business because a lot of people that launch skincare brands, I feel like do it without fully understanding all that's involved, but not you. I mean, you knew all the stuff that's
I was
involved.
getting into, yes.
I mean, but that there are clinical studies and that, the ingredient um, procurement processes can be tricky and your supply chain can be tricky and all, the way that the product can interact with, certain ingredients can interact with other ingredients. Like there's just a lot that people don't realize that goes into making these products. It's not as simple as just like slapping a few things together,
Right. Making your
which
chicken soup, right?
right? Yeah, no, but so it's so you definitely had a leg up because you understood that, and then of course understood the whole esthetician world. So are you also an esthetician or no?
No, I'm not a licensed esthetician. No,
Okay,
no.
yeah, no, because that would be yeah.
I didn't
Um,
want to be a jack of all trades.
yeah, exactly. That's
What happens with
no,
me?
let them.
Yeah, I love to perfect the art of whatever I'm specializing in. So I chose to stick to I guess beauty,
Yeah. No,
consumer, yeah.
that's that. I mean, clearly, yeah, your focus has been really helpful for you and getting your brand to where it is. And then, the fact that you kind of stuck with this channel is also smart because a lot of brands don't really understand their core customer. And so I'd love to talk a little bit about how the med spa space has been literally changing before our eyes, it feels like. The last few years have been crazy.
Yeah.
Um, right? Like the type of treatments you can get now are so different.
There is hope for us, right?
Oh my God, it's really crazy, and so now the latest thing, let's talk about Morpheus, which is kind of like the latest treatment that everybody seems to want. Have you tried it? Do you know about it?
Oh yes, yes. I've been a victim. It's in parentheses, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Doing Morpheus on my face and neck and partially chest, courtesy of Clara Beauty Lab. Of course, I did. Of course, I'm trying all somewhat like semi non-invasive procedure. I'm a, like I said, I still wear my holistic hat on even when I
Yeah.
approach aesthetic beauty. I Not that I'm not a proponent of Botox, but I don't do injectables, at least not yet. I'm still trying to
You don't need them
stay.
yet. And it's shocking to me that these
Well,
20-year-olds are getting fillers, injectables, all sorts of crazy stuff. Because I
yeah.
just can't imagine what they're going to look like in 20 years or 30 years. You know what I mean?
Right. Listen, Botox can be also preventive for headaches, for excessive
Mm.
sweating. There is room for that. And I've tried it once. I've tried micro Botox, whatever you want to call it, once. But I was also on the journey of getting pregnant, which took almost a decade. So I always wanted to play it safe.
Mm.
And I think that kind of prolonged me not getting it. And then obviously nursing. And so that bought me another few years. And then I was too busy to even, look in the mirror and be like, okay, do I need anything? But when I was getting married and I was almost in my late 20s, I was approached, when I was getting hydrofacials, even before hydrofacial microdermabrasions, I was approached to obviously get a little touch up already. And I'm like, oh, do I need it? But
Yeah.
yes, it is what it is. But I'm glad that, laser, radio frequency, microneedling, all the other, technologies are out there because I'd rather try that. Um, Before, plastic surgery.
Oh
But I
gosh.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, there is room and place for everything. Trust me, we're already looking at my eyelids and I'm thinking, droopy eyelid.
It can be addictive though. That's the problem. Because once you
Absolutely.
start, right, you start with something and then I'm like, actually, you know what? I wouldn't mind having, some of this kind of lasered. And then I go, yeah, these lines, I'm getting
Yeah.
older, they're kind of prominent. My turkey neck, let's just get that done. Like you
You need
start
a-
to,
No, you need a
um,
pair of glasses. You look amazing. You really look amazing. And I
oh
think
no,
the
you're being,
generation looks better than the generation before, meaning I'm in my mid 40s, right? I am officially past the other the
Mm.
hump. When I'm looking at pictures of the Golden Girls, clearly we don't look that way. So I
I
think
hope
there's
not,
hope for
but
us. We live longer, and there's hope to I think doing holistic approach. So skin health, it's all related to gut health, it's all related to your lifestyle, quality of sleep, and we can go on and on and on. I think
mm,
skincare and then aesthetic procedures are just pieces of the puzzles, and I think
yeah.
moderation is key. I have European roots, so with us, it's all about a little bit of prevention and a little bit of like gentle aging,
That's a
the
nice
French
way to
way.
talk about it,
Yeah,
gentle aging, because it's true, you can't stop aging, it is you, I mean,
it's a
I'm
privilege,
57,
right?
right? Like there is a point where you kind of go, okay, well, I am gonna look like an old woman at some point because you will be an old woman. You can't help that. But I think I like that gentle aging idea because for me it's just about like embracing it more gracefully and trying, I know it's a fine line, right, between the anti-aging and pro-aging. Because I want to be pro-aging, but I don't want to look necessarily like I am as old as I am. So I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting
No,
to look your best,
no, of course not.
right?
Absolutely. Yes, and you can tell who gets regular, facials, medical facials, and
Mm.
little, help from our, lovely estheticians,
So
technology.
what are the ways you can tell? I'm curious. Are there like giveaways things? Like I know sometimes when people have their eyes done,
Yes.
it does kind of look, I don't know, like a little more
Off.
severe.
Yeah, you just know that something is off. I don't know if it's the symmetry or whatever.
Mm.
For me, I always look at skin. So for me, it's quality of skin. For example, you can be, I call it wrinkle proof, meaning you got your injectable neurotoxin and you have, perfection, no wrinkles when you smile, wrinkles at rest don't exist. But then I'm thinking pigment is the new wrinkle. Like I don't want to coin the term, but for me, pigment is the new wrinkle. You might have, again, no wrinkles, but if you have
Mm.
pigmentation, that's a sign of age spots, liver spots, whatever you will call it, and it goes beyond the face. For me, the face, neck, and decollete is this is kind of what you're looking at, right? Now I look like the Madonna's
Yeah,
song, but
yeah.
the Vogue.
Mm.
But yeah, if I can say pigment is the new wrinkle, for me, that's a dead giveaway. And then if your, for example, skin on hands doesn't line up to the skin on your face, that's a
Oh, that's,
giveaway, right? But I feel it's the quality of skin, you can't really tell. I'm not wearing any
but
makeup. It's just
also this is a giveaway, this area, I feel like, because a lot of people get really sun
wrinkly
damage
and sun damaged. Yes.
and, and you're right, your hands
Your
are,
hands, unfortunately, yeah, because they get the most, I guess, physical abuse by doing whatever chores and housework. But I feel like it's like I said, it's quality of the skin. You can tell right away if somebody has either enlarged pores or like the texture is not even because the texture of it's not even doesn't reflect light properly. And it's all about the
Mhm.
glow, glossy luminization, health, vitality. I think our friends at Aero Skin talk about it all the time. You need a little bit of like touch of color. So at the end of the day, it's many elements that you may not see. Maybe the industry is zeroing in on facial lines and wrinkles and maybe
Mm.
saggy, but
Yeah,
pigmentation is another key. Then also perhaps puffiness or lack of volume in certain areas. So I think under a skilled, especially physician, dermatologist, or plastic surgeon that studies the structure of facial anatomy, they are able to help you, right? You want to, you also want to go see an expert that has different modalities in their practice. If they just push one modality, then
yeah.
for me it's a red flag because I'm an insider, right?
Oh,
Because
that's true.
perhaps
I hadn't
I
thought
bought this,
about that.
I bought this device and now I have to, pay it off. So I'm gonna be pushing it hard like it's the best thing ever out there under the
Mm.
sun. Um, but yeah, so that's why I love to see like what else do you care? What else do you have for me? As an expert that I trust. Yeah.
That's a good point because I think some people might get duped into thinking that if somebody is pushing one thing, it's because that they are an expert in that thing and do it really well. But to your point, there might be a different reason going on there. It might be, yeah. So I do appreciate when I go, I don't get a ton of facials and stuff, but I actually had one at Collagen Bar and I'm going to Clara to do Morpheus
Nice.
at the
Okay.
end of the month to try that because I'm actually going to have it on my stomach.
Okay. And you've seen her
'Cause-
stomach, right? Because she's the best walking
oh,
testimony and a billboard of Morpheus works, especially postpartum.
she looks amazing. And that's the thing, because the reality is there is just, I have two children. Again, I'm in my late 50s. Like there's only so much you can do yourself. You know what I mean? So like I don't know about you, but like my stomach never got back to pre-baby after my children. Some women it just, like goes right
Love
back
that.
like then it looks amazing. And mine just my son actually, I take that back. My son who's 23 now, after his birth, I got back to my pre-baby weight, easy, no issues. My daughter was the killer. My skin just is so saggy and it just is like, so we'll see. Maybe I'll do, if I'm brave enough, maybe I'll do a before and after picture
Yeah. And I
of the
believe it takes
Morpheus.
more than one treatment just so you can be mentally prepared. But
Yeah.
absolutely. I haven't tried it on my stomach. I didn't look. I guess I didn't zero in on my stomach.
Well,
I
I
feel
don't
like
think you
it's
need it on your
breast.
stomach. That I think is but tell me what to expect during the procedure. I'm curious.
I mean, you will get officially numbed. So hopefully you will
Mm.
not feel as much discomfort as if you do it without it. I don't think it's recommended. I think she has laughing gas optional as well, which wouldn't hurt.
Mhm.
During procedures, I mean, that doesn't take much time. You feel a little bit of how would you call it? Discomfort, I want to call it pain. I think us as women, we have a high threshold for pain. And when it's for beauty purposes, you just,
Yeah.
it's like this too shall pass. It's definitely manageable. It's not, you don't break sweat or start crying, absolutely not. But you definitely feel a little bit of, maybe heat after the procedure. And during, it's not a zapping sensation, but you can feel, I guess, the radio frequency. It depends on the
Mm.
setting. I think Clara knows what she's doing. And sometimes some settings are more stronger than others. You definitely feel that something is going on. The surface of the skin is numb, but the action is definitely underneath the surface, and you do have nerve endings, so you're definitely gonna feel something, but it's not like it's like life cutting or anything like that.
Yeah.
It is microneedling, so you're gonna get the pulsating of the needle plus radio frequency. You're gonna feel like a little bit of um like I don't want to call it electricity. Just the little like muscles will
Hmm. Interesting. All
vibrate.
right. Well, let's talk more about your products because we could
Sure.
probably talk about treatments all day
Yeah.
long. I want to understand a little bit more about your line. Do you have a favorite product? Do you, if you were stuck on a desert island and could only bring one of your products, which one would you bring?
Honestly, sure. Well, favorite product, it's hard to pick because, they're all my children, they all
I
custom
know.
formulations, but Topical Skin is a clean cosmeceutical. So if there's anything that you remember at the end of the day, it's a clean approach to derm beauty, cosmeceuticals, medical grade, professional grade, actives. I'm trying to bridge the two worlds of clean beauty, free of endocrine disruptors and all the nasties. And obviously, the clean beauty is not really defined, at least in the United States. Every retailer has their own definition of what's clean and what's not
Mm,
clean. But I'm trying to bridge the world of bringing clean cosmeceutical options to the aesthetic arena. Um, the line is developed with meaningful ingredients. Some of them are natural or derivative of natural ingredients, and some are synthetic, meaning it's biotech. It's something that's been purified and proven by those raw material vendors to have meaningful action in skin or be efficacious at certain level. And it's my job as a product developer to work with cosmetic chemists and laboratories to put it at efficacious level for synergistic effect with other ingredients. So I think that's where I bring my like pharmaceutical approach to skincare and like clinical knowledge to know that if I put vitamin C and E together, they are better together than, individually.
mm,
The line is built on oleosome technology. So in my research, I came across oleosomes. Oleosomes derived from a plant of a safflower oil. The plant actually uses this oil when the seeds germinate. So you can imagine it's full of nutrients and healthy
mm,
omega-3 oils. But it also acts as an emulsifier. And for consumer, they're going to be like, oh, what are you talking about? But a cosmetic chemist, okay, I don't need to use emulsifier. I have this natural ingredient that can help me mix oil and water together in a formulation. So it kind of checks all those boxes. It's sustainable. And then on skin, it's super hydrating because those oil droplets, they burst when they contact with skin. They don't burst at the same time. So it's gradual hydration. So when you apply topical skin products, those that have oleosomes, those that are like water soluble, water-based formulations, you'll get benefit of additional hydration. And obviously, I'm not relying just on oleosomes for hydration. For example, my moisturizer is filled with niacinamide, which is, hydrating agent, with glycerin, with peptides that are hydrating in nature. So when I'm, creating a product, I'm trying to make it as comprehensive, thinking about how skin barrier will react. We know that skin barrier was trying to keep, ingredients, molecules, and, out of the skin. So I'm trying to tackle, couple of different, I guess things when I'm creating products. I'm thinking about delivery system. I'm thinking about the actives that, will be, delivering skin benefit to the skin. And also this cosmeceutical or cosmetic elegance, meaning I want to make sure the product is not tacky and it doesn't leave the greasy feeling.
mm,
So I think that's kind of like the nature of topical skin. I do have a very few products right now in a line. I have this mini regimen starting with a cleanser. Interestingly, the cleanser took the longest time to develop. You would think it's a very simple,
Yeah, I
product
would
to develop,
exactly.
but no, not if you want to make it clean and obviously efficacious. You want the product to remove, makeup debris, stubborn makeup, especially those zinc oxide sunscreens that I'm a big proponent of. So I would say I'm very proud of the cleanser. As a business person, I should be pushing the most expensive product, but quite frankly, just give our cleanser a trial, and I feel like you will love it. A little goes along the way, and I think that's true for all cosmeceutical products. It's all about,
Yeah.
effectiveness and potency, not necessarily caking your face with the formula. But it has oleosomes, it has ceramide. We know ceramide is really, really great for your skin barrier. And I think the entire line is built to help support skin barrier from like hydration standpoint, because we know when the skin barrier is intact, then everything else will work harmoniously. If your skin barrier is not intact or it's disrupted, whatever you put on the skin will either, make it worse or sensitize the skin. It will not, work. The products will not work as effectively. So that's the cleanser. I also have a very interesting treatment serum. It's almost more of an essence. I took inspiration from like Asia Pacific region where, the population loves the essence type of a product. It's more liquid than your typical serum, but it's filled with a lot of hydrating ingredients between oleosomes and peptides, but it's primarily a peptide product, peptide-rich product. I hand-selected peptides that are actually responsible for tackling glycation in the skin. So if you're new to glycation concept, it's when the sugar molecules that you ingest will bind to proteins such as elastin and degrade them. So the glycation is kind of like an inflammation process in the skin that eventually causes the signs of aging to show on your skin between wrinkles, laxity, and things of that nature. So that product, it's called age-defying peptide serum. It's more of a preventive, but it's also a corrective product. So again, very, very comprehensive. That's my little cleanser that I was telling you guys
Oh, I love
about.
that.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
FDA
perfect.
approved travel size. And I think the last SKU that I can talk about is the moisturizer that I've mentioned briefly, rejuvenating moisturizer. That's all it is. It's almost like a gelish base formula, but it's still a cream. I would say it's very lightweight. The serum, while it delivers hydration, I feel like you still need to lock it in with a moisturizer, which is more
Mm.
occlusive in nature.
Yeah.
This little guy is perfect for people who live in humid climates,
Oh,
especially,
good.
right? Because then you will not feel tacky. You can just reapply it. It's
Mhm.
it's clear. It goes on very, very easily. The moisturizer, I love it. It's been actually tested by many estheticians that decided to include it in their facial protocol, mostly for like hydrating benefit, but also for massages. So while they perform, facial massages during facials, they were telling me that they love this glide effect where they don't have to reapply constantly moisturizer to keep on massaging the skin. This guy will help with anybody who's using gua sha tool or any kind of a facial tool, at home, but also with estheticians. Like I said, they have included this product in official like protocols in the treatment room, so I'm very proud of it. And then I have, a couple of other products that obviously I would love to shine light on, and a few more in development between an eye cream and face oil, which I'm super excited about. That probably will be another episode, hopefully with you, Lynn.
Yeah, that's
Um,
exciting.
yeah, so that's kind of in a nutshell, oleosomes, clean beauty, meaningful ingredients, the right concentration, synergy of ingredients, delivery system. It's really all encompassing, and it's based on, like I said, 15 years of me soaking in information from the best in class experts.
Wow. Well, you certainly have developed just an absolutely beautiful line. I don't know of really any other brands using oleosomes the way you are. I mean, maybe some of them have some, but it's not as central to their formulations, I don't think. I mean, unless I'm wrong.
No, I mean, I might be paving a way for that raw material vendor,
Yeah,
right? It's an
I
Italian
think you
company.
are, which
So
is
it's not this,
exciting.
yeah, it's not the smartest way because usually you want the big beauty to pave the way and then you jump on a wagon
No,
and
but
create a Cosby. But yeah, I mean, I've done my research before I hand selected oleosomes to be, it's not a star ingredient, but it's definitely a meaningful ingredient in my formula. And quite frankly, I've tapped into a research dermatologist to conduct research on oleosomes separately from what I was doing because who am I? I wanted to tap into like authority that actually
Smart,
understands
yeah.
the clinical study. So the dermatologist, Dr. Jared Jackdale, he did a review of oleosomes, and he had it published in Archives of Dermatology. So actually, we did a paper on oleosome technology. It's a review research
Oh,
paper.
cool.
It got published in December 2023, right before I launched the brand, just to validate that, hey, what I came across in my own personal research, it's officially validated and
Yeah.
made it into a peer-reviewed journal. So
Oh, I love that. That's super smart that you did that. Well, this has been fascinating, and I think we can kind of close it out for today. But like, I think once you have your new products, we definitely need to talk about those.
yes.
And I love that you've got stuff in the works already. Maybe you can just close on one tip for someone who's looking to clean up their skincare routine and how they might, here we are, January, it's New Year, it's resolution time, it's time to throw out all your expired bad products.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I would say when it comes to skincare, I think compliance and consistency is key. So you
Hmm.
have to find a product that works for you, for your skin, where you are in your skin journey, because what works today may not work tomorrow. Or maybe you clear up some, symptoms or some conditions, and now you can move on to like another product that you were eyeing on. But I feel like when it comes to obviously clean beauty, having a basic regimen, a cleanser, right, which will kind of remove all the makeup debris, pollutants from your skin, and prepare the canvas for like the next product. It's very important. And a moisturizer. I feel like we all can benefit from moisturizer. It doesn't matter if you're acneic, if you have sebaceous glands that are like overproductive. Anybody can benefit from a hydration and moisturizer. I would say apply it on a semi-damp skin. And obviously, if you can incorporate a treatment serum or serum that will tackle some kind of a skin concern, but it's, close to your heart, that would be a nice step, and it's a nice add-on, but it's not a must. So the cleanser and the moisturizer, obviously,
Mm.
always, finish with a broad spectrum mineral sunscreen. I'm a proponent of
Yep.
mineral sunscreens. You will not change my mind about chemical sunscreen, period. But yes, so I would say just start simple and see, we can gradually maybe add products to your regimen, but start with products that you love, your skin loves, and something that you can use regularly. Because like I said, consistency and compliance to your skin regimen will show results. Yep. And
Great
the gym.
advice. Such pragmatic. I love it because it's such good advice for people to follow. I mean, everyone can do that. Then also you can see if it's working for your skin because sometimes people change out 4 or 5 products at once
Mhm.
and they don't understand what is happening and what's working
Yeah.
and what's not. So
And you have
I
to think
love
about the
it.
skin cycle, right? Because the skin
Yeah.
cycle renews itself. If you're young, it's 28 days. So you have to give it some time. You cannot make a decision based on one application. You may break up eventually, or like, initially, but it's almost like using retinol. You have to retinize your skin. Right? So
Mm,
it's the same thing with skincare products. Give it a chance because you might be reacting to the change, but it's just like a temporary thing. Yeah. And you can always
true.
do patch testing. If you have super sensitive skin, you might be reacting. Do a patch test maybe on the back of your hand or on your neck somewhere, but it's like out of sight, and see how you react before you put it on your face,
Yeah.
and then you have to come
Great
on.
idea.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you for chatting today. This was really interesting, and I love to follow your journey as you're, launching more things down the road. And we're going to give a shout out to Clara Beauty Lab because we love
Yeah.
them. And you can buy Topical Skin at
Mhm.
Clara Beauty Lab. They're also available at Radiant Aesthetics in Newport, Rhode Island. So if you're not
Yeah.
in New York, but you're in Newport, pop by
Absolutely.
and check it out. And of course, you can get it online.
Yes, you
So
topicalskin.com. Yes. Mhm.
thank you. Perfect. So thank you, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks for letting us be part of your collective. I really
Of
appreciate it.
course. Thank you.
Bye. How was that?
That
Good?
was great.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
thank
that was
you.
super interesting.
Thank
I
you.
mean, I definitely think you could go deep in so many things.
I can, but I don't want to bore people, to be
No, no,
honest.
no. But like, so if you do want to do another, let's think about it. Maybe we can maybe once I get all the interviews done and it'll take me another month to do them all, then I can start matching up founders where we go deeper in a specific topic and we have 3 or 4 people. That would be fun.
Yeah, totally. I'm happy to,
Okay.
but thank you, Lynn. Um, I wanted to ask you something. Sorry, because I'll have like another thing, but I have to jump on a freaking Zoom and people are already texting me. Oh, Clara Birula. Did you get a chance to see her in the city or she, because I know she went to Poland.
I missed her, but I saw Genesis.
Genesis. Okay, cool. So Genesis was texting me all the like sales, because Genesis is new to Clara. I don't know if you know, but like she got training to do the sales and blah blah blah. Before Clara was
Yeah.
doing it on her own. So maybe she didn't realize that I was part of the collective, but I wasn't part of the collective. Like I brought the collective in. But Clara told me that you asked her not to put topical skin on the report.
I didn't say anything one way or another.
No? Okay.
No, we didn't talk about it. So I mean, I don't care if she wants to include it on the report or not,
No,
but
because you know what, Clara was getting 50%. 50%
oh,
of
maybe
my
that's why.
Yeah, so that's fine. Because she told me no, Clint told me not to include topical
Oh,
skin.
no, I didn't. We never talked about it.
It's fine. Because Genesis separately was texting me. So I think it's not a big deal because with
Do you
collective,
want me to go back to her and ask?
no, because she's a friend and it's fine.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
always we're splitting 50-50, so I don't want to be like, okay, I'm part of the collective, so I
Yeah,
want
yeah, yeah.
80% of 70, whatever. It's not a big deal at all. No. But she told me that you told her. I'm like, well, I don't want to like cause any upheaval.
No, I mean, look, if I did, I certainly don't remember. We never had like a specific conversation. I mean, maybe she said something to me at the launch event and I don't think so.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I think what maybe you just said like, okay, I'm not part of the report or like the.
Yeah, I might have said something like that, like I don't, but no, I don't.
I wasn't sure if you don't want to be dealing with like another number, so it's not a big deal. Like I'm gonna talk to Clara and go through because like I said, Genesis was assigned to like the collective project. Normally I just deal with Clara, but then Genesis was texting me. Plus I'm trying to do something with Lunacent. Like we're trying to collaborate and not a biggie. It's
Okay, well, I'm happy to, whatever you want to do is fine with me. I mean, it doesn't matter to me one way or another. So if
I know.
you guys
I don't know why
talk,
she said that. Oh, I'm like, really? Lynn would say? I'm like, okay. I figured
no,
I'll just ask you in person. That's why I never responded to your email. And then with Radiance, like, should I be concerned, but they're not selling anything? I was trying to do separate. Like for
boy,
me,
I
it's
have to
gonna
tell
be.
you, I've had to kind of read them the riot act because the sales are not good and it's a much bigger med spa than Clara. They have like 10 estheticians.
That's what I'm saying. For me, it could have been. It's like a personal failure if I cannot make it in another medical spa. Like, I'm in other medical spas, and they're
I
open,
think,
collective, and receiving information, and I'm like,
no, I know. I think the issue is the manager, Nancy,
mhm.
is just not collaborative and she's not flexible. She's not collaborative. So
Like,
like I saw you emailed and she said no, like I don't even, like, and so
and I wanted to be transparent, so I put you on copy, so you don't think that I'm like going behind you to
no,
try and
no, it's
intervene.
fine. So Susan Woods introduced me to them. So I've been talking to both Nancy and Susan about what we can do to boost the sales there. And I basically said to Susan,
I know it's like I'm not paying for it, but technically
no, but it's
I could use
still,
it for collagen bar and I would probably get sales. You know what I mean? It would be more.
oh, 100%. Oh, it's annoying. Trust me. It's
Lynn, I
super
have to, I'm so
annoying.
sorry. I have to get off.
Okay, anyway, no worries.
We'll
We'll chat
continue our
more
talk.
later.
Have a fabulous time in Bologna,
Thank
Italy.
you. I'll
Congratulations.
talk to you soon.
I'll be in touch. I'm so